Hello and welcome to another edition of One Crazy Story. I'm your host, Nate Armbruster, and this week the guest I had booked happened, something came up and things fell through, so unfortunately we did not get the chance to record a new episode for this week, so I apologize about that. On such short notice, I feel bad, so I know a lot of people listen and may not have had the chance to listen back. So whenever something like this happens, I feel like it's always fun to revisit an old episode. So I figured this week, instead of just not posting anything, may as well share an older episode. And this is an episode I did with comedian Reese Leonard, a friend of mine from the Toledo area, now living in Chicago. So he's out there doing his thing. He's very funny, a great stand-up comedian, and a good friend. And he was one of the earlier ones, definitely. I can't remember which episode this was, but if you haven't had a chance to listen to this one, now is the time. So here's the episode I did a few years ago with comedian Reese Leonard. This week on One Crazy Story, comedian Reese Leonard joins us to talk about how a one-night stand can go horribly wrong.
Look, sweetheart, it's not inside of me right now. So it looks like you've got some searching to do.
Oh, no.
But keep it down, because my dad's about 30 feet away, and the worst thing that could happen is he walks in on just the shittiest magic trick you've ever heard. I'm just now fully clothed, and she just pulls it up. Ta-da! Like, great. Can you make a baby disappear? That's kind of what I'm worried about. I had been single for a little while, and I planned on moving to New York City with my best friend Kevin, and I kind of decided, you know what? I'm just gonna hook up with one girl before we move. Kind of a last hurrah. I've never just hooked up with a girl my entire life. I've always been very cautious, and just crippling fear of STDs and pregnancy is what was.
It's not a bad fear.
So
it's a normal fear.
I got on Tinder. As this
Tinder.
generation, as the millennials are wont to do.
Yeah, what a way to go out.
You know, beggars can't be choosers.
It's a good way to. It's
any port in the storm.
If that's what you're looking for,
any port in the
it's not
storm.
a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
And I came across this really, really cute girl. You know, so cute that I actually thought she was a robot, because they'll get you on Tinder.
Yeah.
She didn't have a bio at the time, and I was like,
I don't know if I should trust this.
Man. This bitch is a robot. So I decided to try my luck anyway, and my move on Tinder actually, foolproof. Start by quoting American Psycho incessantly until 99% of the time they stop talking to you.
That's awesome.
So I hit her with my apparently my best pickup line, which is, "Do you like Huey Lewis and the News?"
Oh yes.
And she said, "Is that a band?"
Oh no. She could have at least Googled it first, right?
That's what most girls on Tinder said. Is that a band? Or I've never heard
they never
of
even
them.
felt
What is
like
that?
They didn't want to search.
Like, I don't care if you've never seen the movie American Psycho. Like, you've never heard, or
just as a question.
Yeah, you just don't. If someone asked me a question I didn't know the answer to, I just wouldn't want to look foolish immediately.
Right. You're like, well,
and I would
think
Google it.
I don't want to look like an idiot off the bat.
So I go, their early work was a little too new wave for my taste, but when Sports came out in 83, I think they really came into their own commercially and artistically. The whole album has a clear, crisp sound, a new sheen of consummate professionalism that really gives the songs a big boost.
Yes.
He's been compared to Elvis Costello, but I think Huey has a far more bitter, cynical sense of humor. He's like, I don't know who that. In 87, Huey released 4, the most accomplished album. I think the undisputed masterpiece is Hip to Be Square, a song so catchy, most people probably don't listen to the lyrics, but they should, because it's not just about the joys of consumerism and the importance of trends. It's also a personal statement about the band itself.
Yes, that's awesome.
Now, she stuck around through all of that. Because I still wasn't convinced that she was a real person anyway. So I was like, you know what?
This is just fun now.
It was just fun for me. I didn't really, because I started a Tinder knowing I wasn't a hookup guy, so I really played like I had nothing to lose, because I really didn't.
Yeah, worst they say is no. Worst they say is no, and you go to New York.
I was actually more scared that they'd want to hook up with me.
Like, what happens if it works?
I'm like, what if I really click with this chick? I'm terrified. But you know what? My friend Kevin, he was a virgin before we met, and then I hooked him up with a friend of mine. He got
No
laid.
way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was 23 when
great.
he took that journey.
Oh man,
with a friend of mine, because I was basically like, look, I got this buddy. He's 23. Can you take him off my hands for a night? And she was like, let me see a picture. She goes, oh yeah.
That's great.
So she made a man out of him. So I go, you know what? I'd been with a couple, 3 girls at that point. So I was like, it's not like I've never hooked up. Let's
right,
see
like a
what's
one
going
night
on.
stand.
So this chick ends up being really cool, you know, and we're talking for a little while on Tinder, and then she's like, do you want to text? And I was like, sure, you know, and immediately I go, hey, you know, it's Reese. And she goes, I just got my nipples pierced. Do you want to see?
Jesus.
And I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, what am I supposed to?
Well, I mean, when you get that kind of offer, like, and the fact that your goal at the beginning of this whole thing was that, it's a sign. Just just say yes.
So I was like, yeah, I mean, of course, yes, yes,
You're
ma'am.
so sweet.
I was taken aback.
Yes,
I
of
really
course.
was.
Yes.
I was. My first thought is, I was like, ooh, lascivious. I didn't know how to just be sexual. I was just like, this is just so crude and overt and sexual.
You're trying to be a gentleman about it.
Yeah, I was taken aback. So she ends up being cool, you know, great boobs,
Perfect.
nice nipple rings.
Great.
So we decide that we're going to hang out. All right. And
going in the right direction here.
well, when we're deciding where we're going to hang out, first of all, I deal with a lot of anxiety and stuff. I'm more comfortable on home turf anyway, meaning my house, which, hear me out.
Okay.
It's not great, but it was a positive for me. She's kind of married.
Kind of.
She's married.
She's married.
And they're going through a divorce, allegedly, but they still live together. So that house is out of the picture.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
It's
let's
gotta
avoid
be my
that.
house.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
no doubt.
You know, my parents are cool. So
yeah, exactly. So are mine.
we'll
don't
see,
worry.
you know, I'd rather she come over anyway. She lives about an hour
you don't
away.
have to drive. An hour? Yeah.
Yeah.
If she's willing to drive an hour, let her come over.
And so we go, you know what? We're gonna do this. And I was actually the one. It was a complete role reversal from what would be considered typical. I was like, you know, just so you know, I don't think we're gonna hook up this first night. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. You know,
you said that before she got to your place.
Got there. She's like, that's fine. We don't have to do anything. We can just hang out. She shows up, and we go out in the front room, and she just takes her pants off.
What? No, you didn't even. No moves were made. Just she took them off, huh?
She just did.
And she knew this was your parents' place too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because she just walked in, and took her pants off. Ah, what a winner!
We were out in the front room, and my dad is 2 rooms away in the family room. We're separated by the kitchen.
How late is it? Is it in the evening? Like
11.
Okay, is everybody asleep at least?
My dad's awake.
That's great.
My mom's asleep, and we're downstairs. My dad is a couple rooms away, maybe 30 feet or so, and I turn on my favorite movie, American Psycho. This is what brought us together. It's only fitting.
Great. Oh, what a great movie for a first night.
So naturally, things get frisky.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
break out the mirrors and everything. Yeah.
So you know, we're both hot and bothered, and I just go, you know what? Like, if we do this, can you keep it down? And she says yes. So we start doing just the devil's work, you know,
of course,
whatever the opposite of making love is.
Yeah,
that's what we were doing.
Yep.
And it's
American Psycho,
and it's great.
Minus the murder.
Oh, it's spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
You don't know where this story is going.
Yeah.
This can never be released. I'm on the run. Use an alias. So, you know, it was going pretty well. You know, we're in the. I'm gonna be crass. Just to paint the picture, we were like spooning, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we're watching the movie. So that's how we started. You know,
things started.
boning. It feels weird. See, my instinct is still to say making love, and that is not what was
you're
happening.
still trying to be a gentleman. Yeah, it was exactly what you set out to do.
Yeah, it was. And so it's going well, you know, we're having fun. My dad walks into the kitchen, so that's where he can see the front room. And we just freeze.
Oh no.
Just stop mid-stroke. And I believe we pull a blanket over us, so like it looked inconspicuous enough.
Yeah, or at least
except
enough
for the fact that we were red-faced and like she was sweating.
Heavy breathing in here.
Yeah, and I actually pretended to be asleep.
Yeah,
which was weird, which was a weird move because clearly.
Well, at least it gives him. There's enough signals for him to go. I'm just gonna walk. You know, nothing awkward happened, but it was at least enough for him to go. All right, I'm gonna leave you two.
Yeah, and so you know, there was a couple, and then he walked outside at one point. Meaning he walked, but where he could have seen it, we had to stop again. So eventually, I see the finish line in sight from myself, and now you know you can't get fancy at a time like this.
No,
you stay the course. And you deal with the consequences. Yeah. So I finish. I remove myself from her. I look down at my glorious penis that had just conquered new territory. And I go, yeah, I know my penis when I see it. I also know a condom when I see it. And I did not.
Oh, no.
Though I went in with one.
Oh, no, Reese.
So I was
There's supposed to be one there.
Look, sweetheart, it's not inside of me right now. So it looks like you've got some searching to do.
Oh, no.
But keep it down, because my dad's about 30 feet away, and the worst thing that could happen is he walks in on just the shittiest magic trick you've ever heard. I'm just now fully clothed, and she just pulls it up. Ta-da! Like, great. Can you make a baby disappear? That's kind of what I'm worried about. So I start freaking out.
Right,
freaking
totally.
out. And nothing like this has ever happened to me before. It would happen on my one hookup.
Yeah, right. You're just trying to just one last hurrah before you move to New York.
Right.
And now you're like, shit, I'm stuck in the Midwest until this thing's 18. Right. I mean, granted, probably a little extreme because you know,
but all those thoughts are crossing my head. This chick is married.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Well, for starters, I'm freaking out about pregnancy, but then I'm going, when did the condom fall off?
Yeah.
And what if this chick has something?
Oh, yeah, there's that thought, too.
I mean, there's every single horrible scenario that has precluded me from being promiscuous my entire life has now come crashing down upon my head at one... Yeah. While I still have half a boner, by the way. Have you ever freaked out with a boner? It is disconcerting.
Yeah, I'm sure it can't be fun.
It is very confusing because your body is like not fully flaccid yet, and your mind is just wanting to shut off. So I was like, look, all right, for sure, get it out. Like, what?
So we gotta figure out.
She's like, I can't find it. I'm like. It's somewhere.
It's in there.
Do I need like?
we gotta figure this out.
I'll go in. I was like, do you want me to go in there? Like I'll fist you right now if I need to.
Oh yeah.
And she's covered up by the blanket. I'm fully clothed. I'm just staring at her, waiting for her to get this thing out.
Right.
Show me proof.
Yeah, we gotta make sure this is taken care of right now.
And she goes, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I go, okay, all right. Where is it? She goes, I put it in my pocket.
What?
I was like,
gross.
What pocket?
Yeah,
you're
naked.
Which pocket is the good pocket?
Did you like go find your coat?
Yeah. So
that's what she calls her vagina.
So she goes upstairs and she throws it away, and that's the other thing is I don't know that I'm like, did she really get it out?
Yeah, it's.
I eventually dug through the trash and found it later because I was terrified.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I can. All right, yeah, I can get behind
but
that.
I was.
Hey, whatever. I was just sleeping at night.
But I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
So I go. That's it.
Yeah.
Get in the car. We're going to get the Plan B pill right
Yeah.
now. She also said she was on the birth control pill.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know this chick.
Yeah, you don't know. I don't know what's going on.
And some of the thoughts that comforted me when I was freaking out, I'm like, if she really wanted a kid, she could have just had a kid with her husband.
True. Rather than some guy on Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believed her, but it wasn't enough to help me sleep at night. I go, we're going to go get the Plan
And it's
B
not like
pill
she could have
anyway.
planned for this to happen, for it to get stuck in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you make that happen.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, it's just.
I still don't know how
Yeah.
it happened because.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have the world's biggest penis, but condoms are not just slipping and sliding right off. You know what I mean? That's kind of the worst part of sex is removing the condom afterwards. It's like a little painful. It's uncomfortable. I still don't know how. It hasn't happened since. I
that's
don't know
good.
what happened.
Wait,
you know what?
man,
To
it's
go
just
back
a
even
one-
further. Me, my buddy Mike, and like I said, my best friend Kevin. We were the reason we were hanging out so late was we were coming back from a show, and in Ann Arbor actually, and we stopped at I stopped at a gas station to get some condoms, and they just had. It was funny that these three dudes walk in.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Where are the condoms?" And he's like right there. And I was like, "Do you have any like Trojans?" Because they were just like Durexes or whatever,
Yeah.
which I've never, I'm a
You're
Trojan
loyal.
guy.
You're a loyal brand. You're loyal to your brand.
So I go up to, I was like, "Are these all you have? These Durexes?" And he's like, "Yep, those are the." I was like, "Oh, just the ones that don't work." And he goes, "Yeah, these come with a congratulations. When's it due?" And I go, "Don't you jinx me like that."
God.
And that was just a sense of foreboding for what would happen.
It's funny, but it's like
In
scary.
retrospect, I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
Yeah, it's
I
like
thought
you
it was
knew
kind of
this was gonna
funny at the
happen.
time, like,
This
oh,
is
that's
gonna
funny because it's not going to happen.
And then
I'm
it
like,
almost
it's
happened,
kind
yeah.
of funny because
It did
there was a
happen, yeah.
malfunction.
There was a problem with them for sure.
So immediately, I'm like, hop in the car. So we hop in my mom's Prius because I roll in style,
Nice.
you know.
Nothing
I
like
don't-
hopping in the mom's Prius to get some Plan B pills with the woman you just met.
We share a car sometimes.
That's fine.
Still live with
Hey,
them.
you were gonna move to New York, dude. You didn't need a car.
Exactly. So
That's what you tell. That's the
So-
excuse.
we go to Kroger's at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is that Friday night, which our first date, by the way, was Kroger's. Our first public appearance,
Yeah. Did you guys
First
hold
outing.
hands?
It dawned on me as we were walking in, like,
linked
I should
arms or
probably
something?
hold her
Yeah.
hand, right?
At
Like, I
least
don't
so it
want to
doesn't
take
look
things too
bad.
fast.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
we
right.
should-
Wow, we held
you-
hands the first night. That's
we
not the
should-
only thing we did.
We should show a united front to the cashier at least.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is us just, we're just not ready.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually worried about
Yeah.
the judgment from the cashier, but whatever. So we get it. It's $55 or
Jesus.
something. Yeah, she
Nice,
can't say I never spent money on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
the first day I spent a lot of money on
She
you.
didn't even offer to go like halvesies or anything.
Yeah.
She's just like, whatever, this is your deal. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So I pay it gladly. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
really
fine.
worried about
Swipe it, man.
So I got it. We get back to the car and I've reached just frantic
Yeah.
mode. I'm trying to, and they make it really hard to open so people can't steal them. So I could not get the package open. We're in the Prius.
It's easier to get a girl pregnant than to open the Plan
God.
B package.
It's crazy. Cheaper too.
Yeah.
But so I pull out a knife that was in the
Nice.
car. So I'm sawing into it.
Yeah.
And finally I get it open. I hand it to her. And another thing that bothered me is I hand it to her and I'm fumbling with the package and she goes, "All right, I took it." I go, "What?" Like I wanted to watch her take it.
Yeah.
She goes, "I just took it." And I was like,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I'm not gonna go drop another $55 just to watch you take a second one. So, so I gotta just kind of,
You just gotta take her word for it there.
So, we drive back to my house, and it's tough. Where does your night go after the Plan B pill?
Yeah, so
I'd
you
never
go-
been for
go see a
anal,
movie?
It turns
Oh,
out
anal.
That's where it goes. I was like, fuck it. If I'm gonna have a baby with this chick,
I might as well really get to know
I might as
you.
well really just cross all boundaries.
Yeah, why not, man?
If I'm changing diapers, I'm gonna put it in your butt. Whatever. So it was an interesting night, and I thought that was gonna be the end of it. And then the next day, my mom goes, "Why was there a knife in my car?"
Uh-oh. But it was already there at the time, or did you have it on you? Is that what it was?
Here's the thing: is that I go, "Oh, I hit that deer a few months back."
Oh,
so
yeah.
We probably put it. She goes, "Why was it out?" I go, Kevin, we're always going on road trips. He always has a knife. He probably just. She goes, "Why was it open in the driver's seat?" I was in such a frenetic mode that I just left it open in the driver's seat, and I had no comeback whatsoever. What am I supposed to tell my mom? I use that knife to keep you from becoming a grandma in your vehicle. I murdered a baby in your passenger seat with that knife.
Yes.
So it was just very awkward. Now, we ended up, it still could have been, it had all the makings for a crazy yet fun one night stand. But I couldn't deal with that. Because I was like, she was a really nice girl, cute, sweet. We really clicked sexually, you know. So and she really was a nice girl, but I couldn't just wonder if she was gonna get her period or not. You know,
you had to stick around for at least another week or two.
And she was cool, so I was like, so we kept talking, and then we hung out, and then you know, after I was still freaking out, we just realized I was just like, you know what, we're fooling around, we're being crazy. I'm just gonna push it to the limit, you know. We were fooling around, and I go, we should record this.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you might as well.
For posterity's sake, you know, I want to show future generations.
You gotta
my
keep...
kids and their kids.
You gotta keep it spicy.
After 2 weeks, you really got to keep the spark alive, Nate. It's really hard.
Well, it's hard to top that first night as far as
really is.
Intensity goes.
It really is.
You might as well what else should we do? Just record it. Let's record it.
So I pull out my phone, and on my phone I recorded us having anal sex.
All right.
Because, you know,
why not?
What do I have to lose at this point? You know?
Yeah.
She was into it. I was into it. She knew she was being filmed. It wasn't weird.
It was okay.
It was completely consensual. She signed documents. It was.
That's good.
So, I'm a pretty open person. Hence this podcast that I'm doing right now. But with no one more so than my friend Kevin. So I recorded that video. It was about a minute and a half, and then really, you gotta get. I have more respect for point of view porn actors now, because
that's a lot. That's a lot of multitasking.
Like, I recorded for like a minute and a half. And then I was like, this is laborious. I can't really get into the sex part because I'm like holding a camera. I'm hoisting myself up with a camera.
You're like trying to set up a shot, but you're like trying to
I
like
had to turn
keep
the light
mood
on. I was
going.
like, get the lighting, can you lean this way?
Yeah.
Can you? And it was just after watching the video later, it was very.
Yeah,
it was mostly me breathing heavy.
Yeah,
to be fair,
probably hilarious.
So I sent it. It was in a Facebook message in its entirety in all its glory to my best friend Kevin. And the thing is, the downside, it's gonna go from lascivious to sad really quick. We were gonna move. We were going out the end of November to look for apartments. On November 1st, Kevin took his own life. So, it was such a mix of emotions, and I was so, ironically, that chick was there when I found out the news. Like, we hung out like a few times, but then
you guys did really go through a lot together.
We really did, in the span of like 3 weeks.
Wow.
We really
You guys really saw every side of everything.
Yeah, she was there when I found out.
Wow.
And it was only because of that I was just like, you know, we talked for a couple more weeks, and she would check in on me and stuff. But after a couple weeks, I was just like, I don't think that this is ever gonna. I'm too sentimental. You were there when I found out.
It's rough, man.
It was very tough. So something that happens after you lose somebody that close, you know, you go through your texts, you go through your messages, and I would send him. We would text a lot, but I would also send you a lot of Facebook messages because there was just things you can do on Facebook that you can't do through a text, like send a minute and a half video and certain GIFs and stuff like that. So, and I saw that he never sent the, he never saw the last message that I sent him.
Which was that video?
No, it was something else. But then, like 2 weeks after he died, I saw that it had been viewed, meaning his family was
Oh
going
no!
through his phone.
They logged onto his
And
Facebook,
that
or his
message,
phone, or something.
Yeah, that message was pretty innocuous. It was just
Yeah.
something goofy. And then the one directly above that was a video of me having anal sex with this girl.
Oh my
now,
God.
it was hilarious to us.
Oh,
at
of
the
course.
time.
That's-
Probably not as funny to a grieving family.
No.
I'll give you that much.
Like they're just like they just go check his Facebook, you know?
Yeah.
They're going through what they're going through, and then they just check his messages, and there it is.
The
Reese
worst
Leonard.
thing is, Kev didn't even respond on Facebook after he saw it, so it looked like I was just this fucking lunatic
Yeah.
who just sends this homemade
Random.
anal porn video, and Kevin was just like, nope, can't even
not
respond.
interested. So
Yeah.
at least in now his family thinks that he was not into receiving sex point of view videos from his best friend.
Yeah.
But I think it's also Kevin's way of going, ha ha.
I got you. son of a-
Yeah,
and
that's,
the thing is his family is very gracious, and I spent time with them in those weeks following his passing. And so when I went over there, I had to play a fun game of who's making the least amount of eye contact.
yeah, you gotta figure out who was checking
Because
those messages.
there was no way to
you don't
broach
know
that topic. I
No,
can just be like,
for
"Guys,
either or."
I'm so sorry for your loss. Have you seen any good anal porn videos recently, or any like moderate to slightly
Oh my
impressive
God.
penises you want to comment on, or just average?
Has it come up since at all?
No,
No, and it never
No.
will. And it never will.
and that's why I hope they never hear this podcast.
That's all for this week. If you enjoyed the show, please go to facebook.com/onecrazystory or follow the show on Twitter @onecrazystory. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it.